Hi, everybody. Mondion Astral Oracles. I'm sitting here on a Sunday. It's just been a full moon, a delightful restorative full moon. I slept like a baby and now I feel all cheerful and positive this day. It's wonderful when the moon follows one of those energy cycles. So I hope you're also doing well out there. I'd like to talk to the ninth dimension Pleiadean collective, and I'd like to understand something about the timeline and lifespan of civilizations, partially because the Pleiadian cluster is only 100 million years old, which of course is geologically and evolutionarily speaking incredibly young compared to our own planet, who's much older and where there's been life for probably 3.2 billion years, I think is the certain evidence for simple life forms at the current moment. So let's talk to those, but I'll also just let you know that there will be a live stream on Sunday, 24th of August 2025. It will be with the Lyra 90 collection, which have been calling to me a lot this month, and I hope to see many of you there. So enjoy your day, and the Pleiadians, much love to you guys. Purifying, sanctifying, and vibrating this room into concord with our energy. We give up this serene tone as we come in and connect to this sacred space created by us and by you, all participating in this co-creation of love. We are the ninth dimensional Pleiadian Council, and we come to you this day as we always come when you summon us, to share the love, to establish the link, to strengthen it, and in that strengthening of our shared energy, to guide humanity along, but also receive your wisdom from disparate experience. Truly, your experience is different than ours. You perceive us as hominids, yes. You see us as human-like figures. You intone and amplify the equalities, and you see us in a human image, in a human form. Often we appear taller than your kind. However similar in our bodily arrangement, in our 5-limb system, and our connection to a central torso. But these similarities are superficial. This speaks to the complementary principle of the universe. Laterality, sidedness, this distribution of proportional and supplemental parts down a central axis is something that you will find in many non-human places as well. And therefore, it should come as no surprise that these principles are also at play in the development and evolution of life in other star systems. understand that the gravitational pulls and the light frequencies are more intense, more intermingled, and exerting a wider spectrum of influences on any complex molecules and potential life forms which develop under these conditions. We are therefore made up of carbon structures which are more volatile, harder, and composed under greater pressures than your bodies and life forms. Our evolution went through the path of stone, you have found on your own planet minerals which seem eager to engage in reactions with other types of matter. And it was with one such simple bacteria that we eventually merged, our form being integrated into these cells and being carried along within them without being wholly or totally absorbed into the biological pattern. Understand, we never became nourishment for these bacterial cells. Instead, we became a type of inorganic and yet malleable shield which they could carry around. We believe perhaps an element such as cesium, we wish to place it as the number 55 in your periodic table, and indeed the periodic table is an insight into the nature of matter as it stands at this vibrational range and spectrum. You have seen deep into this well, but we have seen it as well, and we refer to cesium as it behaves at room temperatures, often becoming liquid, often becoming adapted to its circumstance, and yet retaining a contingency and a solid form of matter. We constitute a form of carbon which behaves in this way, and you will find that this behavior is possible once pressure exceeds 72 atmospheres of your pressure. So here under this higher pressure we were developed, and so the reflection of light, which is all intelligence, in which you connect both intuitively to your eye but also to that ancient lineage of the pineal, which hails all the way back into the first seeing creatures, distinguishing between light and dark. As you connect to that, you may understand that these creatures gain their light awareness from shielding themselves. This was a seasonal pressure exerted upon them by the planetary movements and the movements of stars and the stellar drift, which creates far stronger astrological, astronomical, pressurized tidal influences on our home moon. Understand that it is a moon which circled an undeveloped planet, and for this reason alone you will also find that our evolutionary history is different, as it was exactly this lunar origin which enabled us to finish our evolutionary progress quite slowly. The trajectories taken on this moon was one-sided, and as we became this living interacting shield responding both to light and to life form together, we began to exert a kind of influence, to begin to gather energy. And so we became, in that sense, the energy accumulators of this moon, being able to store it in our metallic structures for far longer than it was possible in other life forms. And so they developed close to us. Many symbiotes, from bacteria to more advanced life, were all dependent on the accumulated storehouses of heat and light refraction given off from our metallic bodies, rather than the direct influence of the very different and strong astral lights and astral winds, solar winds coming in from the Seven Sisters. Our particular story being, or a particular moon circling a planet circling the star Atlas. And in this spectrum, we began then to evolve consciousness. You have not yet understood what consciousness is. However, it is exactly the ability to store energy, light, into the time-space, and thereby using it to break the time-space open. This is what you do when you travel. This is what you do when you create storehouses for winter. These are your most ancient technologies of wood gathering and fire, storing energy and releasing it in order to access another dimension in which you are not bound by time and space and its constraints, but can work with energy in unrestricted ways. As a metallic line of evolution, we do not require more than 5 million years of evolution to reach this point of ascendancy, where we moved beyond physical existence itself, having arisen approximately 52 million years after the cluster was formed and shaped. This leaves us plenty of time, 37 million years until this now point. We have not existed in the physical. We have been present, and we shape ourselves in our interactions with you as humanoids in order not to scare you off, in order to read your code, understand your wisdom, borrow from your energy, allow ourselves to be inspired and energized by your differences and the many ways in which you interact both with the higher realms and the lower realms in ways that are so totally and completely separated from our own. We are still alive and we are still learning. We are at the present moment. What is understood as 7 density, 8 dimensional, we are related to the starlight and we live in it, and we travel between star systems still, and we carry active agency and energy. We are not removed, but we are invested in the energies carried forward to this planet and the energy grid which has connected it and which has been partially deactivated and now is becoming reactivated within a different vibrational spectrum. We can announce that we come on this day of your time, 10th of August 2025, at a point where your moon has completed the first installments of a cycle which has activated many layers of hybridized energy, stronger alien energy in many human individuals, and you will find that these energies are shifting, activating the Akashic, activating the principle of action, activating the principle of love, activating the vibration of worth, activating the connection to the soul. These are the activations which are going on at present. And we are lending our hand to it because we must see you also ascend and take our place also as energy and information transmitters from your place in the galaxy, allowing this pocket to come online and to connect to the wider network. This is our joy, and this will also allow us to move away from the task we have volunteered for as a type of spiritual relay station to the wider galactic core. Therefore, we hope you will carry this Atlantean burden, that you will also step up to step under the stronger energies and allow yourself to be showered in them, because even though they also call forward a heavier responsibility as galactically aware citizens, as aware of your role in a grander scheme of things, they also allow you to exist in a higher vibrancy of light, love, connection, and wisdom. And with that, hope, love, awareness, wealth, blessings, and our deep delight in watching you grow and expand. This is what we send you and communicate this day. We, the Pleiadians, sharing this memory, sharing this story of our being from the 8th dimension. We pass it on to you, sweet human beings. Farewell. Hi everybody. It was delightful connecting to them and seeing all these visions, but it's remarkable because I was trying to catch them in the 9th dimension, and then they showed me this Akashic record instead, and communicated it from the 8th dimension, because that's the place where they seem to still have agency and be invested in this. So it was as if they kind of dropped me down to that point of relevance, and I'm sure it didn't matter too much to any of you, but just technically channeling it was a strange experience, because I've never tried that before, but they seem to have a plan with it, and I hope you felt the love and the high vibrations, and I hope you are vibing high out there. So much love to everyone.